All right, Shalom. First and foremost, as always, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to YAHAWAH, BaHaShem, YAHAWASHI, BaHaShem, Rakak Wadash. Double honor to the apostles and the elders at Great Millstone who rule well. And I want to give peace and salutations to the elect scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, all the believers, all the men out in the highways and the byways, pushing out his word, truth and sincerity, all right, and the remnant that's scattered. All right, and I want to jump into this quick lesson because I was meditating on something. This thought just came to my head. You look out into the world, man, and you see what's happening with men, just in general, man. Whether you're scrolling through your YouTube feed, or you're seeing what's happening with friends or family members or people in this world or social media, whatever the case is, man, you'll come to find out that this flesh will fail you every time. Okay? And the reason why I was thinking about this, I was meditating on this. You see what's going on again. You see what's going on in the world with people and how they lack the ability to put off, right? They lack the discipline that's necessary that will get them, so that they lack the discipline that will keep them out of harmful situation, to keep themselves out of harm's way, keep themselves from making bad decisions. All right? People lack the understanding, the ability to understand how decision making is key, it's paramount in this world, man, in this life that you have. All right. And when you make decisions that are catered to your flesh, the majority of the time it's going to end up with a bad result. And I was meditating on it and I'm thinking, because, we in this faith, man, and this truth. First, we're held to such a high standard because we're looking to please YAHAWASHI. So, it's a daily fight. It's a daily struggle because we have to make the attempt to put off the flesh, right? And the flesh will without a doubt, it will fail you. Okay, so this is why we have to put it off and we have to tap into the spirit. And my thoughts was kind of all over the place when I was putting this lesson together. So, bear with me if I'm a little scattered with my thoughts. But it was something that was really on my spirit, so I just wanted to put it on, put it on wax, so to speak. All right. This flesh will absolutely fail you, especially when it comes to understanding, right? The majority of things that are happening around the world, it really makes no sense to a carnal mind, because this flesh is this flesh is actually in line with this world, right? And these fleshly thoughts and processing information, right? And the judgments that are going out, that are taking place, it can only truly make sense through the Holy Spirit, right? Which is the spirit of truth, right? And that spirit of truth is only really living and abiding with the elect of the nation of Israel. All right. So real quick, let me just grab this. This is John chapter 14 and verse 17. It says, "Even the spirit of truth, whom the world cannot receive, but it seeth him not, neither knoweth him, but ye know him, for he dwelleth with you and shall be in you." Yeah, so the spirit of truth is really, only dealing with the elect, man, and the world cannot receive it. This flesh, which the majority of people in this world live through, this flesh is in sync with the sin, with the iniquity of this world. Okay, it's in line with the lies and the deception and the falsehoods of this world, right? Living through the flesh will give you a false sense of faith in what this world can do for you, what it can provide for you, right? So then you start living that way. All right, you might find yourself in a position where, you know, you're meditating a little bit too hard on that new job or on that raise you got, right? Or on a new female you just met, okay? And you know that demon, you know that, because she might be bad as hell, right? And your flesh is telling you to ponder on these things. Your flesh is telling you to ponder on the things you can obtain or the material things that you can buy with that monetary increase from the raise you got, right? Your flesh is telling you to give that new bad chick your time, right? More time than she deserves, because ain't nothing wrong with dealing with women, but more time than she deserves, and your mind starts to be focused on her, but that's your flesh, right? And that flesh is warring against the spirit. And you have to fight that off, right? And again, it will fail you every time. If you're living through it and you're trying to please yourself, trying to please that flesh, you're going to end up in a bad case, okay? This is Galatians chapter 5, verse 17. It says, "For the flesh lusteth against the spirit, and the spirit against the flesh. And these are contrary the one to the other, so that ye cannot do the things that ye would." All right. Yeah. So these two are at war. All right. The spirit and the flesh. So anytime you give yourself over to the flesh, you prepare yourself to fail. Right. That demon that comes over you. Right. Because, hey, that demon come over you telling you to put off doing the work of the Lord. Right. It'll sit there. And if you don't fight it off, right, if you're not constantly praying, if you're not fellowshipping with the brothers, if you're not watching the videos, right? If you're not in the spirit of doing right by this calling, these fleshly thoughts will get the best of you, man. Right? You got to constantly examine yourself when it comes to this flesh, man. All right? Because there's no doubt that this flesh will fail you every time. All right, verse 18, it says, "But if ye be led by the Spirit, ye are not under the law. Now the works of the flesh are manifest, which are these." All right, so these are the works of the flesh: adultery, fornication, uncleanness, lasciviousness, idolatry, witchcraft, hatred, variance, emulations, wrath, strife, seditions, heresies, envyings, murders, drunkenness, revelings, and such like, of the which I tell you before, as I have told you in time past, that they which do such things shall not inherit the kingdom of the Most High. And ultimately, that's the goal, man, right? To inherit the kingdom of the Most High. But if you tapping into your flesh, if you constantly seeking the flesh, this is the type of man you can expect to become, right? A complete demon, all right? One that has no control, man. And I know all you brothers see, you see examples of that. Men that have no control, just live after the flesh, right? The scriptures say, "He that have no rule over his own spirit." What's that? Proverbs 25, right? Hold on one second. Let me get that. I know it's towards the end. Yep, it's actually the last verse. Proverbs 25 and 28. "He that have no rule over his own spirit is like a city that is broken down and without walls." All right? Susceptible to any and everything. A man that has no rule over his own spirit is like a city that's broken down without walls. And when you broken down without walls, you susceptible to them demons, man. All right? Because being a spiritual man, that's what it means to be a high value man. If we being honest, all right? One that seeks the Lord, YAHAWASHI, one that seeks to please the Lord. Okay? Because in this world, a high value man is someone who's looked at that makes a lot of money, right? They have status, they have reputation, they have influence, right? They have power, to make things move and shake, right? But what happens is the majority of the time, with a man like I just described, right? This is a man that wants to maintain that lifestyle, right? A man who has a reputation, they have money, right? And in order to maintain the money, the status, the reputation, the women, right? In order to maintain it, guess what? You have to conform to this world. You have to conform to this flesh, man. Okay? You got to play this dirty little game that Esau has set up in order to get ahead in this society, right? And to be looked at as someone who's highly valued, man, or highly sought after. Right? And the scriptures tell us not to be conformed to this world. The scriptures tell us to put off that old man and become a new creature. Right? And putting off the old man, becoming a new creature, repenting. That sounds boring to a nigga in this world, man. Let's just be honest, right? Can't chase after other men's wives. Can't covet money, because the scriptures say the love of money is the root of all evil. Can't smoke, can't get high. Can't stun on your brother, right? Can't be into competition, and you know what I mean? Jake does not, 2/3 of so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans do not like to have to use discipline. All right? And discipline is everything when you come to seek the Lord, right? Discipline, that's it's like kryptonite to a nigga. So again, this flesh will fail you, man. One way or another, it's going to fail you. All right? And not to mention these actual fleshly bodies, man. These old, decrepit bodies that are breaking down day by day. Right? And that's due to Esau defiling the entire earth. This man's the goddamn devil, man. Real quick, Isaiah 24 and I'll start at verse 4. The earth mourneth and fadeth away. The world languish and fadeth away. The haughty people of the earth do languish. Verse 5. The earth also is defiled under the inhabitants thereof, because they have transgressed the laws, changed the ordinance, and broken the everlasting covenant. Yeah, the earth is defiled under the inhabitants, under Esau, Edom, under the wicked. Right? So these bodies are just breaking down. You know what I'm saying? You can't trust this flesh, man. You cannot. All right, man, look. Ever since I hit 40 years old, hey, man, it seems like every other day. And I can't even really say 40. I don't really know when it started, but it seems like every other day, man, something on my body is aching or just not functioning the way it used to. You know what I mean? It's these bodies, man. They're defiled. All right. And I know some of you brothers can relate, man. You know, but on a serious note, this is why we have to, you know, treat our bodies the best as we can. Right. Make sure we're just not shoveling anything into our system. Right. Try to get yourself a workout a few days per week. You know, maybe get a little running in or some walking in. You know, drink your waters. All right, get into the herbs if you can, you know. Because ultimately, man, we're gonna need to be changed. Right? And we're getting ourselves prepared for that change now. This is the time that we're preparing. All right? We're preparing ourselves for those new bodies. Right? We can't enter into the chariots with these bodies. The kingdom either. You can't. Hey, man, you ain't going to be in the kingdom with these bodies. All right. We're in a new day. The scriptures say that the end is manifest, man. And with the end comes new beginnings. All right. This is 1 Corinthians chapter 15. I just want to get this real quick just because I mentioned it. You know, getting those new bodies. Because again, this flesh, man, this flesh is going to fail you. Literally. 1 Corinthians 15 and 50 says, now this I say, brethren, that flesh and blood cannot enter into the kingdom of the Most High, neither doth corruption inherit incorruption. Yeah, so this flesh ain't going to enter into the kingdom. We're going to have to be shed of this. All right. Verse 51, behold, I show you a mystery. We shall not all sleep, but we shall all be changed. Right. So there's men who won't, taste the death. There's men who are going to be beamed up into those chariots and be changed on the way up. As it's going to describe in verse 52, it says, verse 52, in a moment, in the twinkling of an eye, at the last trump, for the trumpet shall sound, and the dead shall be raised incorruptible, and we shall be changed. Right? So this is what we're preparing ourselves for. Verse 53, for this corruptible must put on incorruptible. Those new bodies, those new celestial bodies will be incorruptible. All right? And this mortal shall put on immortality. All right? And this is the beauty of what we have received. This is the beauty of the truth. This is the beauty of the glory that's to come. All right? Immortality. And that mind frame, that the idea of it is hard to even fathom. But nothing is impossible with YAHAWASHI. All right, verse 54. So when this incorruptible shall have put on incorruption, and this mortal shall have put on immortality, then shall be brought to pass the saying that is written, death is swallowed up in victory. All right, so we're going to receive the victory through the power and spirit of YAHAWASHI and being changed, being beamed up, and putting on everlasting life. All right. And Lord willing, I'm a part of that number. And the same goes for you believers, man. All right, but in the meantime, right? In the meantime and in between time, we got to do our part by holding ourselves together, right? And it ain't going to be perfect. All right. Actually, it's going to be far from perfect. But you have to make the attempt to do right by yourself. You have to make the attempt to put off this flesh, man. Be mindful of the things that you struggle with. Examine yourself. Make the attempt, all right, to hold yourself up. Like I said, man, try to get yourself a little workout in, drink your waters. Try to stay healthy if you can, man. It's difficult because most of this shit is defiled, right? But you got to make the attempt, okay? And that mentality also has to be applied to this truth in general. Making the attempt, right? The Lord is looking at those of us who are making the attempt to please him. Okay? Because just like it ain't going to be perfect in how you take care of yourself, all right, with the example I just used, it's also not going to be perfect in seeking and pleasing the Lord. Right? Not in this flesh. Not in this world, because it's impossible here in Babylon the Great, amongst Esau, Edom, amongst the wicked. Right? We can't keep the law perfect. We know that for sure. Right? And everywhere you turn, there's some goddamn wickedness going on. Right? So it ain't going to be perfect seeking the Lord, but in the spirit, man, we're perfect towards YAHAWASHI, man. And that's the spirit that the Lord put in us. All right. So I'll just grab this last scripture to the point I just made about, seeking the Lord and pleasing the Lord. This is the book of Ecclesiasticus, or Sirach, chapter 2 and verse 16. All right. And it says, Ecclesiasticus 2 and 16. They that fear the Lord will seek that which is well pleasing unto him, and they that love him shall be filled with the Lord, with the law. Yeah, so we are to, constantly be in the spirit of fear of YAHAWASHI. You know what I mean? And doing what's well pleasing unto him, making the attempt. All right, we're fighting for something greater, something much greater than anything that can be fulfilled through this flesh, man. All right, and you'll come to find out that this flesh will fail you. So live after the spirit, live to seek YAHAWASHI. All right, I'm gonna end it there. I hope you were edified. As always, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahawashai, Bahashem, Rachakwadash, Double honor to the apostles and the elders at Great Millstone. Peace and salutations to the elect. Shalom.